Alright folks, you know what? Why not a bit of a fun video here for the gaming channel, because I know this is a subject some people kind of remember about. Remember strategy guides? I got a couple piles here because of this certain kind of genres that we got here. Yeah, one for wrestling, and one for Pokemon. Why? Because they're two of my favorite genres to kind of go back to. And yeah, I also have a couple of Pokedex books. This one's missing the cover, but this is for Gen 3. And of course you got the Pokedex book here for everything that you need for all the Pokemon for Gen 5? Yeah, Gen 5 for Black and White. And of course, if it wasn't for this book, I never would have gotten strategies for trying to get to the Battle Frontier in Pokemon Emerald. So first, let's at least go through the Pokemon ones before I then go to the wrestling books. Most of these strategy guides I've got like through Amazon or anything. There are some that I'm still missing. It's like I'm missing a full-on freaking strategy guides for, let's see. I know I'm missing Black and White, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, if they have those. I think that's about it. Unless maybe I'm missing a couple, but these are pretty much just about everything for the games and everything. I mean, look at this one. One for both red and blue, covering both versions, the Primas or Primas or however that's pronounced strategy guide. So like do's and don'ts. Play the game with a friend, or better yet, two. Well, had a hard time freaking having anybody to play the game with. You got all the maps, you got the artwork, you got all this good stuff. This was back in the day, like this was the generation I freaking began with all the way back in '99. And of course also mentioning like, oh, what's rare and which one's in the game it's not. It's like, oh, you play the freaking Indigo Plateau, you're not going to find Raichu in red, but on the counterpart in blue, you're not going to find Electabuzz. And I wonder, do they have the Pokedex? Yeah, it looks like you got item choices and everything, names of moves that you had back then. Oh yeah, and you also got one saying, like, for each Pokemon saying, let's see, any listings of where you can find them? I mean, you got a list of the TMs and HMs they can learn, evolutions, stuff like that. I don't know if it fully says anywhere where you can find them, but it's still fun to look back on some of this stuff no matter how old it is. Now, of course, Pokemon Yellow, the game that got me introduced into the franchise. All this stuff, like, it's even saying, like, for also comparing red to blue, saying Pokemon that you won't find in these certain games, ones that are hard to find, can be exchanged and all that. That's what I like. And of course also the trading portions. Let's see, walkthroughs of the world, here we go. So yeah, you also got the different designs of everything, like for the layouts. And of course a screenshot for what happens when you put it into the Game Boy player. Speaking of which, I gotta get that for the SNES, because my Game Boy player is only for the Super Famicom, and I don't have one yet. Oh! Whoever I got this from through Amazon, they left the map in here for the artwork courtesy of all this, so thank you to the person who still kept that in there. But it's like, yeah, this was back in the day when Pokemon was still fresh. Oh, and of course you gotta show me the SSN. And of course, said Pikachu. Happy Pikachu. And Pikachu just don't give a crap. Let's see, Gold and Silver. I never had Silver back in the day, and also in Gen 1 I never had Blue, but now I've got every physical copy. I don't think I ever had this strategy guide. I know I had one strategy guide that I lost a while back. Either got tattered or torn or whatever. But even looking through some of these and even seeing which Pokemon are which, like, oh, here's the team for freaking Lance, and the Pokemon he's got and all the moves, so easy cheat sheet there. Now, Crystal. I loved this back in the day. Freaking Suicune on the cover. Gym battles and badges and everything. Growth, why do you look so pissed? I don't care, that's not family friendly. And this is also a good thing, also having these graphs show what stats these Pokemon technically truly excel in. I mean, like Magikarp, it's gonna have pretty dang good speed. And then when it evolves into a Gyarados, everything almost levels out, but then an attack way out of control. Let's see. Ruby Sapphire. Back in the day, neither myself nor my brother had Sapphire, so we never had Lunatone. He had Ruby. Of course, back there you can see what's going to be next. I had Emerald. and going through all this, all the Pokemon you needed, and trading and all this stuff. Its own mini battle tower, not the same as the Battle Frontier. Let's see. Yeah, and of course the charts and the graphs and all the moves and everything. And they even have the freaking check boxes. So it's like, yeah, I did that. It's like, I don't care if you got a freaking Sonic Boom on a Voltorb. That's useless to me. This, I remember. This is not the same one that I had back in the day, but I remember when I went down to Texas with my family at the time, we found a strategy guide for Emerald, and I needed this so badly because if you remember, they had some of those puzzles in the game where you had to read Braille in order to get through the Reggies, and I cannot read Braille for shit. So I had to get this just to figure out how to do everything, and of course my original copy eventually bit and all torn up and everything. And oh, this layout, this was the good stuff. Listing, and of course, all the weaknesses, which is a problem with the C-Dot line. You had a lot of weaknesses because it's part grass, part dark. And Bug is just Achilles' heel. It's like stuff like these. You definitely need these strategies. In fact, hang on, let me pull up Battle Frontier. I think this was the game. Oh, yeah. Never found this damn thing. Where's my Mirage Island? And of course, the big Battle Frontier. This was the section that was needed back in the day to tell you where everything was. Mirage Island, again, never found it. Because this is how I started to come up with my own strategy for a team. Because back then I used Metagross, Medicham, and Salamence, which I think is a pretty dang good team. Because especially going against Lucy because of her Viper. Because that thing, like, could not go against my freaking Metagross, and especially Shuckle. Metagross against a Shuckle, Metagross is going to win. Of course, these are the silver teams. They don't list the gold teams for some reason. Yeah, I guess they didn't update with that. Now, this one is my old one. You can tell the cover's gone. This one being for Diamond and Pearl. I probably could use it a little bit for the Shining Pearl, Brilliant Diamond games. But then again, I haven't touched those in a little while because I kind of got mad because of the whole freaking Pokewalker and Shiny check and all that crap. But this was freaking old school, y'all. High friendship levels, contest moves, and all that. Because back then, even with these games, my brother had Diamond, I had Pearl, and then I also had Platinum. Platinum, and I believe this is still my original one. I mean, look how bulky this thing is. Holy crap. It's like pulling out a dictionary in the library, drop it on the table, and freaking causing an earthquake. And the librarian's like, shush! It's like, well, you guys freaking have these big heavy books, it's your fault. Like all these ones, of course, some of these texts are so small, you have to freaking put your face up against the books just to read them and everything, but this was good stuff back in the day. Even if Gen 4 took a while to get through all the hit points and everything, because everything was slow motion. Now, Black 2, White 2, I think I got this game, both these games, early on. I don't have any memories of these for some reason. But I know a lot of these Pokemon games I'll eventually bring to the channel, because I've got the hardware and everything, so I can do it. I don't need to use emulators, because it's not my preference. Let's see some of this stuff. Like, I'm going to have to play these games just to refamiliarize myself with them. I don't know if I'm going to bother doing shiny legendaries, because that takes a lot of work. Catch Mesprit. Catch a freaking Azelf. Catch Kyurem. Catch Heatran. Don't tell me what to do. Let's see. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. Beautiful remakes of the games. Classic. I don't know if this is my original one as well. Going through all these trainers and everything. Maps. What's here? What's there? It's like, this is going to be a freaking item, not an Electrode or a Voltorb that's going to blow up in your face. I'm eventually going to have to go through this again. And then, Sun and Moon. Surprisingly, I still have not played either Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. Because, like, I've got both games. I just, for a while, I kept focusing on these individual ones just so I could complete the Pokedex on Sun. So it's like, I went on a bit of a grind fest for those, but eventually I'll have to get to Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. I mean, why in the hell not? Spoil the trail site. Oh, Totem Como, or however that's pronounced. So that's all the Pokemon ones I got. I could have more. But now we get to the wrestling ones. This one's also incomplete, sadly. Let's see, you got WWF No Mercy, one of the greatest wrestling video games of all time. Some of this stuff is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, you got the movesets and everything, which is great. I absolutely love that. Screenshots of the moves, like Powerbomb to Facebuster. Great choice there. See, oh, the bully. Oh, the ass kicker. Oh, the guy who can't stop pulling out his worm. Now, also, this is a weird one I just noticed. Takuma Ichinoku, also Funaki. Not all Asians look alike, but I guess they share the same move set. It's a little weird because Funaki, I don't think, has ever done the Michinoku Driver. So you got No Mercy. You also got Raw 2. Thankfully not the original Raw on Xbox because that one sucked. Let's see. One of the greatest wrestling games ever. SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. Bork Laser sniffing panties. You got the original SmackDown vs. Raw game. It was cool to see one of my old YouTube channel gaming videos thumbnails actually get featured on WWE's website to represent this game. It was a nice touch. Let's see, the second one, 06, classic, another great one. Oh, excuse me, wow, I'm getting COVID again. Now, of course, I don't have 07, I thought I did, but 08, fun game. Kind of seeing the new additions in there, like with characteristics like that'll affect your in-ring style and having ECW. That was fun. 09, I've heard a lot of people saying negative stuff about this. I don't have any memories. I don't have 11, but I still have 10. So maybe I'll have to give that some too. And I've also got I don't know if they ever came out with one for 2K15, but I got 12, 13, and 2K14. 13 I still have a soft spot for because of what happened with me back in the day with their website. But I do know this also contains stuff for DLC characters, like movesets and everything. I think they get their own section, because I think I got the DLC on the PS3, because I don't know if I think somebody said they stopped it to where you can't get it anymore, but it was unavailable for the 360, and then all of a sudden I go on PS3 shop, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you can suddenly buy it here. So I don't know if I fully downloaded them. I haven't even touched in a while. And of course, 2K14's also got a soft spot. But it's like, I know I got more strategy guys in this. Like, I got the GTA games and all that stuff. But it's just like, seeing stuff like this is just crazy. Because for kids who don't know, this is how we got our information on video games. You couldn't just simply look stuff up because the internet wasn't what it is today. You didn't have the easy access to, like, freaking GameFAQs or IGN. I mean, maybe you had Game Winners. Now I'm starting to miss that website because that website was my shit as a kid. But this is what we had back in the day before you could just simply look everything up. You either had to go through word of mouth by talking to your friends, or you had to go to the store and actually get these books in order to figure out how to do what. But you know what? That was a damn good time regardless.